It might as well be Thanksgiving here in the West because for us Agumon fans, we are eating well right now. Man, hello Digidestin and welcome to the King's Court. Now, I'm very excited to bring this next installment in what I like to call the Agumon Expert Series. In case you're new to the channel, first off, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. And also, the Agumon Expert Series is a series I started not that long ago, actually. This is going to the third installment. This is a series where I talk about Agumon themed strategies, deck profiles, and overall Agumon themed discussions on the Digimon Tcg. So, the last one we discussed was Black Wargreymon and how we could still utilize the deck, even though unfortunately the deck got hit. So, if you haven't seen that, go ahead and go check those out. It's a two-parter. I guarantee you'll enjoy both. But for right now, right here in this video, this is going to be a discussion on the new support that we got most recently here in BT12 and how these cards are going to revolutionize the Black Wargreymon / I guess you could almost call this now Agumon Red-Black Tribal deck. Black Wargreymon and Agumon are still pretty much what I would consider the front and center of the deck, but now there's a mixture of different cards in this deck, and I'll go over that later. So, before we get to the discussion, the main topic of this video, let me know in the comments, have you had a chance to mess around with these new cards? What do you think of these new cards, and overall, do you think these are better, or do you prefer the old Agumon Rushdown variant, the Black Wargreymon X variant? Because that's the thing, that's what's really cool about this. We could really go both ways now. We could either go Black Wargreymon X, or we can use this build that utilizes all the best parts of the different versions of Wargreymon. So, the main discussion is going to be overview. First off, let's look at these new cards. Now, the main cards we got are this new Agumon right here. Go ahead, pause as soon as it focuses. Go ahead, pause right there. The new Greymon. There's always a reflection. I'm so sorry. Go ahead, pause there. This new Metal Greymon, which is actually going to be replacing the original one we used to play from BT8. Go ahead, pause there. And of course, I swear they're going for a Goku reference here. Right here, it focuses. Our new Wargreymon. Okay, there. Sorry about that. Sometimes it takes a while. And, of course, to top it all off, our new Tamer card, our new Kamiya. So, basically, these cards all work in utilization with each other to use this new ability. Would you really call it an ability? Not a trait. Mechanic, I guess you could say. That's introduced first time here in BT12, here in the West at least, called Raid. Yeah. Right. And that's right here in Wargreymon. So, I'm going to read really quickly what it does. When this Digimon attacks, you may switch the target to attack one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon with the highest DP. So, what this means basically, originally what we would do because one of the really great things about the Black Wargreymon deck is that we were always able to swing an unsuspended Digimon. This is basically one of the few decks that could do that. And that was all thanks to Metal Greymon from BT8. Go ahead and read the inheritable right there. Although, if you played this deck before, everyone should know what this does. This Digimon would let machines and Dragonkin Digimon swing an unsuspended Digimon. But, here's the thing. And even though, yes, it also lets you de-Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon, unfortunately, its play cost can be pretty bad. So, thanks to this, and also, The new Metal Greymon has the same, also has Raid. Now, what Raid basically means, like, let's say hypothetically, let's say this Wargreymon was trying to swing into your opponent's security, but let's say they got a big Digimon you want to get rid of. Raid would kick in, and instead of going for security, you could swing at that Digimon instead. And here's the best thing. That was Raid. This is the new Wargreymon's ability. Until the end of your opponent's turn, this Digimon gets plus 3,000. Gains reboots when Digivolving. All turns once per turn, when an attack target switch, unsuspend this Digimon. Now, why that's great is because this. One, if we swing at our opponent and get rid of their Digimon that's unsuspended, not only do we get rid of a very possibly problematic Digimon, but we can unsuspend our new Wargreymon. And the reason that's really important is because originally what we unfortunately would have to wait an entire turn, because Agumon and Black Wargreymon X both can unsuspend. And so can Black Wargreymon, actually. A lot of people forget that. But, unfortunately, Agumon and Black Wargreymon X only unsuspend during your opponent's turn. And Black Wargreymon, unfortunately, only unsuspends if it deletes a Digimon. Which can be good, actually. Let me see. Should be right here. Everyone should know what Black War, at this point, if you play this deck, what Black Wargreymon does. When you play him, when Digivolving, you can destroy up to either Digimon or support tamer cards on the field that equal to 6 or less. Now, usually people associate this card with destroying tamers, but here's the thing. If you also destroy smaller Digimon, like let's say Sukamon or stuff like that, you know, those ones that restrict memory reduction, you blow it up, he'll unsuspend himself, which was the thing you could do back then if you had, let's say if you swung with Metal Greymon already, or it was forced to be suspended or something, play Black Wargreymon, delete it, and it'll unsuspend. Now that's one of the things we used, but unfortunately, that took a while. This, though, is very fast and very strong, because not only will it reboot during your turn, but it gets an extra 3,000, which is where these cards come in play. This new variant of the deck is very, very DP reliant. Reliant. This version is very, very wants to get high power. It's kind of similar to the older Red Wargreymon X, you know, the pure red one, but instead, we still have the defensive power of Black Wargreymon thanks to our Tai Kamiya, which I'll go over really quick. Now, it's a play cost 3. Again, if you didn't pause it, I'll go over really quick. Start of your main phase, on play. One of your Digimon with Agumon or Greymon in its name gets plus 1,000 DP and gains blocker until the end of your opponent's turn. That means on play, to start of your main phase, your Digimon will become a blocker. Now, the reason that's so important is because your Agumon or your Black Wargreymon will get to ridiculous DP power, and with this, you make it a blocker. Which is the same reason why, unfortunately, yes, it was a great card, but this is why we actually don't need to play. I think I should have it right here. Let's see. Oh. Why in this deck, unfortunately, there's not enough space anymore for the old BT8 Black Greymon. Because now we can just make our Digimon into a blocker. Which is nuts, honestly. So that's something we can do now. Another thing to remember is the fact that they'll be getting an extra 1,000 DP. So your Wargreymon will be getting to ridiculously high power. Not only that, the type of Koromon also can help determine your DP as well. Like, let's say if you're playing the power-up variant, you could get your Wargreymon to almost 20k every time. And the fact he'll even be a blocker during your opponent's turn is crazy, because not only does he have that extra 1,000 But if you played your Metal Greymon X antibody beforehand, it will be literally a 16k blocker. And all of these also manage to power up your Wargreymon. Not only that, the Metal Greymon, this is the craziest part. Not only did they make this new variant ridiculously strong, but this Metal Greymon gives it's inheritable. While this Digimon has Greymon or Omnimon in its name, it gains piercing. That means when Wargreymon is all juiced up, gains that extra 3k and an extra 1,000 from the tie, 15, 16, and let's say hypothetically, and you have these Greymons, that's almost 20k already. Your Digimon will be swinging over your opponent's Digimon that's unsuspended, and it'll have piercing. That is nuts. Which is why another reason why we went back to playing this Metal Greymon, because it'll power up your Wargreymon and give it an extra security that turn. So you'll be getting rid of their Digimon, piercing for at least 2, and not only that, you'll be clearing up their field, and you'll have a reboot. That is nuts. This is what makes this deck super, super strong now. Not only that, here's the thing. He's not the only one. Because his name counts as Greymon, if you have that Metal Greymon with piercing under your Gaiomon, Gaiomon can already swing for its own check. The check it gains from when you Digivolve. And let's say, like I said, you have the Metal Greymon. This thing is going to be swinging for ridiculously high power and piercing as well. So basically, this new variant of the deck can be defensive and hit super hard. That's what makes this new support ridiculous. The only downside is, honestly, one of the issues I was having with playtesting is sometimes you don't see your pieces, or because you play a lot of ties. Let's see. You want to play at least minimum 3 from what I've been seeing and playtesting. I do have a deck already, but I want to get some more playtesting first before I bring a deck profile here for everyone. Here it is. 2 and 3. Now, another thing you also can do, which I've been doing, I've been teching in one of the old school tie. Because, unfortunately, the new one is not a memory setter. And those extra, early game, those extra memories can come super handy. And that extra security check that this could provide really also comes in handy, especially, like I said, with the whole piercing nonsense this thing can do. So that's one thing you can do with this deck. And another thing I wanted to go over really quick is something involving Omnimon. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, man. Should have organized this before starting. Let's see. What's over here? Oh, there it is. Okay. Let's say, hypothetically, your opponent's got, I don't know, something big. Like, let's say we're playing against... Beelzemon. Beelzemon's like 1500, I think. Like 15 DP, I think. Beelzemon X, at least. Or something really high. Now, let's say we managed to go into Wargreymon. He has an extra 3k and the extra 1,000 from the Digi sources. So he's at like 17k right now. Let's say, hypothetically, we wanted to swing at security in order to trigger Raid. With Raid, we'll swing over their Digimon and get rid of it. And because of piercing, we'll be doing at least minimum 1 or even 2, maybe even 3 security checks, depending on our setup. This is just hypothetical. And as a result of the Digimon being deleted, now Wargreymon can reset, which means we can swing again. Now we can swing for the security. And because of that, let's say hypothetically, he swings for at least 2, Because let's say we have the Metal Greymon that gives extra security. So because it's a piercing in that, that's 3 gone. Or even more, really, because the Taikamiya is giving more of the red tie or something. Either way, we swing over that. We knock out their security. Then we can go into Omnimon. And when we do that, we could potentially either KO them or get them to the point where they can't do anything. Especially if we can even go into Omnimon X. So basically, this deck can basically do a lot of different things, but also now we basically have a very, very easy finisher, because even if we don't, like, this isn't the main thing we go for, if we have, like, let's say our Gaiomons or other Black Wargreymons doing damage as well beforehand, this could be a very fast, very easy to pull off game ender. So that's something I wanted to go over really quick. But this is, like I said, just like a very fast hypothetical. Nothing, exact, because sometimes you can't predict what will happen. But this is just, like I said, a very quick thing you could think about. And there are different ways you could customize this. So, basically, all these new support cards are just absolutely amazing. I think they're great, and I think they're going to find a very strong place here in the deck. So, that's the main thing I want to talk about for this. If you want to see channel member Michael do the same thing, he was, because I've started like I said, this Agumon expert thing here in the channel. Channel member Michael wants to do one on his favorite Digimon deck. He wants to do one for his Machinedramon. So if you were interested in channel member Michael talking about the new Chaos Dramon support, as well as the new builds for Machinedramon, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and let us know in the comments you want to see that. And also be prepared, because I'll be coming with a deck profile later this week, hopefully, after I do a little more playtesting on my locals. So, that's pretty much everything. If I had to give all these cards a rating, I say altogether, easy 5 out of 5. That's just how strongly I think these new cards are very powerful in this deck. So, that's my first 5 out of 5 ever. And if you want to see more Digimon content here on the channel, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, like we said. And honestly, just overall, thanks for stopping by. And that's pretty much it. Take it easy. Bye. Hello, this is Post Editing Isaac. And oh man, this is so embarrassing. I forgot to go over another big point I wanted to mention in this video. So, I'm so sorry. I'll do a little, I'll try to, my editing game is still, in the process, I'm still working on it. But I'll try to, finagle this in. Another thing I forgot to mention here at this part, or I'll either put this when I'm talking about the tamers, or I might just put this at the very end, so sorry, bear with me here. Another thing I wanted to talk about was this new Greymon that also the people have been talking about for this deck. Now, this is from the EX1 set, super long time ago. Go ahead and pause right there. Basically, let's say hypothetically you have this Greymon, and you wanted to go into Metal Greymon. Well, here's the thing. Let's say you digivolve the Metal Greymon for 4. Now let's say this is super early or something. Now, when attacking, you may play 1 Taikamiya with a play cost of 3 or less from your hand without paying its cost. So basically, this is a great way to turbo out your ties, because they're play cost of 3. And speaking of tie, that's another thing I wanted to mention. Let's say I already had 1 out. And let's say because of that one, now we have 2. We'll go over the first one first. Now, let's say hypothetically we already had 1 out, and we wanted to go into Metal Greymon. Now, remember, the original reason why we, like I said, the Greymon X antibody that got hit because it turboed out cards too fast. Well, this Taikamiya works a lot like the old Nokia card. And I don't know if anyone watching this is new or new to the deck, or hasn't played a lot of other Agumon, or even if you're a Gabumon fan watching this, and you should know what Nokia is. Nokia basically is an old tamer. I think I have it actually right here. Let's see. It's an old tamer that Agumon tribal themed decks used to use. And some even still do. Here it is. Right there. Go ahead and pause right there. It focuses. Alright, so basically what it does. On play, you can play a Gabumon or an Agumon for free. But it's its other ability that's great. When, let's say, if I wanted to Digivolve this Greymon into Metal Greymon. Like, hypothetically. Now, this Metal Greymon costs 3 if you're Digivolving from level 4. So this one is level 4, so let's say that would cost 3. You could use Nokia, suspend it, and it'll actually only cost 2, because it'll minus the memory cost. This tie does the same thing. Let's see. Yes, your turn. When one of your Digimon Digivolves into a Digimon with Greymon or Omnimon in its name, by suspending this tamer, gain 1 memory. That's pretty much the same thing. So basically, you can go into your Metal Greymon for 2 now. And that's even more nuts if let's say hypothetically, you have your Greymon X antibody from BT11. Because remember, he reduces the cost of your Metal Greymon Digievolution by 2 for 1 for each color it has. So, normally, this would cost you 2. I mean, this would cost 3, like I said. But because of this, it would only cost 1. So you would pay 1, and using Taikamiya, you basically get Metal Greymon for free. That is crazy. And you could do that with all your Digimon whose name have Greymon in its name. So that goes for Wargreymon, Metal Greymon, Black Wargreymon, even Gaiomon. And this is even better than Nokia, because this also lets you do the same thing for Omnimon. It does that too. Well, either way though, this is great because this deck focuses on turboing these ties. So that means the more you build up, the faster you can play your big guys. That is just crazy. So that's something I wanted to mention. I didn't want to end this video without mentioning that. So that's my bad. I'll make sure to have these future videos structured better next time. So like I said earlier, thanks for stopping by. Bye.